Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Jessie and this is Crochet in Christ by Jess. Thank you guys so much for being here. I have what I think is an exciting video today. So today we're doing a ribbit roundup. Essentially, what kind of gave me the idea is last year during around the same time, I think, I did a rabbit roundup where I just shared a lot of the rabbit patterns that I'd seen or I wanted to try, and I shared those with you. And so um, I'm going to tell you the inspiration for that here in just a second. And so today I have 16 patterns for you, and a couple of honorable mentions. Of frog patterns that there's so many of them, and I'm decided to show them to you. So let's talk about the inspiration. So I've remembered where I got the inspiration for me to do the Amy alpaca pattern that I showed you guys last week from Poggy's place. I'm having trouble talking again today. But essentially, I'm pretty sure it was Granny by Nature. I saw them show the Amy alpaca pattern while I was watching it, and I was like, oh yeah, I had that pattern and I completely forgot. And so that kind of launched me into my Poggy's place. And so they get credit for the past two videos of inspirations. I'm pretty sure it was on the same video they showed this pattern. We're just going to jump right in there because I'm just so excited to show them to you. And and they actually saw this pattern from What's Up Cupcake, if I can remember correctly. Um, but this is the fruit frog pattern. I have my notes here, so I might be looking down a lot because I wrote everything down over here. I wanted to be very prepared for you guys today. And so from Alpaca Patterns, and this is the Etsy pattern, so it is a paid pattern. But they showed, I want to say this is the first one, so this one, and I almost audibly gasped, and I immediately went out and purchased this pattern. And so I didn't get a chance to make it until last weekend, and you're gonna see. So this is the fruit frog. This is the strawberry one. How cute is this? On all of these, I used a 4.5mm hook and 14mm eyes. This is Parfait Chunky, I think in pistachio, and I forget what this color is here, this green color. But the red is, and now that I'm looking at this, I have some naughty ball yarn to use, but this is just chenille in red and then some just chenille white. But I made this one, and it's a 4-in-1 pattern, so it's a pattern pack. We're going to stack them back all over here again, like we did last week. But that wasn't the first one that I did. This is the one that I saw on the video, and when I was like researching the pattern, this is the one that I really wanted to make, and this is the pineapple one. And I did do glitter eyes on this one, but I'm not a big fan of it. So since this was the first one, I say glitter eyes, but sinker eyes, I just think these eyes just look a little bit better. But anyway, so this is the pineapple, and all of this is Parfait Chunky and 4.5mm hook. I love this one so much. That yellow is just so pretty. And then is a watermelon. Oh, his eyes are a little wonky. It's okay. And then Parfait Chunky in the green. White is the Premier Just Chanel. And then this is Just Chanel in, what color is that? Salmon, I think. And I just embroidered with some of the Just yarn from the Dollar Tree. And this one is my daughter's favorite, the dragon fruit. And again, Parfait Chunky and just chenille and hibiscus. This is such a pretty color. This is probably one of my favorite colors, and the quality of this hibiscus is really good. How cute! And so that was the 4-pack. But at the end of the pattern, it gives you a couple other mods. One of them was a kiwi, and the other one was to use you mixed a couple of the patterns. So you use the bobble stitch from this pattern, and then like the collar of this one to make a raspberry. And I was going to do that. I was really going to do that and use this color. It was going to be really cute. But when I had them all like lined up together, I wanted something that was blue. So I made my own mod. I made a blueberry. He's so cute. My son said we need an apple, but I feel like there's already enough like reds and stuff over here. And then the other mod was a kiwi mod. And so you pretty much use the watermelon without the color changes that are in the back. And then you embroider. And it said that like with the kiwi one, you can even make your own mods and do like um, oranges and limes and lemons and stuff like that. So there's definitely lots of options that you can use for all of the patterns. So this right here is what launched me into, I think launch is the word of the day, into the frog patterns, because this next pattern that I'm going to show you is another Etsy pattern, and I applied for the tester call. And I mean, I apply to many tester calls all the time and I don't always get them, but when she released the pattern, I bought it pretty quickly along with another pattern at the same. I bought these two at the same time, and I'll show you them back to back. But I fell in love with this. It's just a unique shape. Before we get to that, I did want to mention, because I forgot to tell you guys at the beginning. So all of these, so the patterns that I've collected for you guys today, it is a series of Etsy patterns. We have a Ribbler pattern. There's Instagram patterns and some YouTube patterns. And so I wanted to give a good variety, YouTube and a blog pattern too. She does both, but I wanted to kind of give you a variety of things, of places that you could find patterns, because not everybody has the opportunity to purchase patterns, and not everybody has an Instagram. So I tried to get a variety, even though most of these are Etsy and Instagram patterns. So I forgot to preface that before we got started. So, anyways, this is Tiddalink the Frog by Motu Designs. Absolutely love this pattern. It was very quick to make and it's so cute. She gives you, she says that you can put pipe cleaners in his arms and legs so you can move him around. But I didn't. If when I make the next one, because I'm going to make another one, I'm going to put the pipe cleaners in there just because I want to be able to maneuver him around, because he's so cute. And so this pattern does come with some mods. I ran out of time. You're going to see why I ran out of time to be able to do that, because I wanted to have the other one ready. But she does have a sweater mod for this one. And she has a Instagram free pattern for wizard outfit as well. And then she also has this hat, the mushroom hat. She doesn't have the string for it to be like tied around his neck. I just did that because I know that it's not going to stay on his head, and I just thought it looked cute. So all of this is Bernat blanket yarn. This is dappled in jungle. It's like the jungle color, and then 6mm hook, and then I did 20mm eyes. How cute is this? And this is such a good pattern. This is an Etsy pattern. Um, and it's so much fun. And my daughter, this is her favorite one out of all of them that I've done so far. And she just loves him because he's cute. Look at him. He just sits there and he hangs out. Let's see if we can get him to set up over here. And so that's Tiddalink. Something I forgot to mention, we're going to take a step back here because I'm so excited I'm forgetting to tell you guys things. So this is Parfait Chunky, and then this is the Cozy Cub, and this is Premier Just Chanel. I forgot to tell you guys that. And another thing, this is not a no-sew, or this is a no-sew, right? Yes, all these are no-sew. You make the arms and legs separate, and then you crochet them in as you're going. So this is a no-sew, minus any type of like little embroidery that you have to do. And then this guy here is not a no-sew. You do have to sew him up. Um, and but his body is one thing, and then you do his arms and legs, and then you sew them together. And then, sorry, I'm saying a lot. And I love his little knobby knees. I just think he's just so cute. He's such a distinguished gentleman. I put him back there. So that's number 2 pattern. Oh, he's not going to sit up for us. Okay. Excuse me. Still have a little bit of cough from being sick. So the next pattern that we're going to do, I saw, this is the pattern that I saw that inspired me to apply for the Leo the Gecko pattern that I was a pattern tester for last week. And so this is Basque Boutique. I think her name is Rosa, if I can remember. If it's not, I'm so sorry. But I know Miss Sue was a pattern tester for this pattern in particular, and I thought that the toes were so unique, and so that's what everybody that I saw make this mentioned, and the way that she did his body. But this is so cute. So this is Reggie the Frog by Vasque Boutique. And this, I don't know what about this reminds me of Gullah Gullah Island. If you're a elder millennial like myself, you'll know what I'm talking about. Maybe it's the yellow that made me think of Gullah Gullah Island. And so this is Premier. This is the, what is that? The Chanel. And I don't remember the color of this, but if you know Chanel Brights, then you'll know what color this is. And then the Bloom. And then I did, let's see, 20 millimeter eyes. Is it 20 millimeter eyes? No, it was the wrong one. I think it is 20 millimeter sinker eyes. And I did that in the green. And this is also no-sew. And what she does here is you do bobble stitches, and then you do these in the front loop only, his little toes, and then you do in the round, and it's just so cute, and he just sits so adorable. Now, I'm not sure if any of the pattern testers had the same problem that I did, but with doing the front loop here, whenever I would go into the back loop, I did have a little bit of a gap that whenever I was sewing it closed, I had to sew the gap in. Not in all of them, and just some of them, but it could be my my tension. But this was such a fast and fun pattern to make, and I love how that bloom turned out with the yellow. I think doing a green frog would be really cute too. And I used a 6 millimeter hook on this one as well. And so on hers, she also has a cowboy hat mod or option, or it's adorable. And so that you do crochet this, and then you crochet the body into it so the hat doesn't come off. I did take the hat and kind of make it look more like a cowboy hat. I tied the bill up a little bit. And so this color here is, I'm pretty sure this is, what is it? Can't remember. Sweet Snuggles. I'm pretty sure it's a Sweet Snuggles, but I can't really remember because I don't have the label on it anymore. And then this color is some of that, I'm losing my train of thought here. I'm so sorry, guys. The Stash Buster deals that you can get on Premiere, that you get like the bag for $10. And surprisingly enough, the texture of this was a lot softer than the Sweet Snuggles. I've used this before, and it kind of squeaks on the metal hooks, and it just like it gets you. And then this is Nutty Pony yarn, and then I did the same sinker eyes, except I used the black glitter that you probably can't see very well. Now I did have bigger gaps where the toes are at on this one, and I had to set those up. But other than that, like, this is just such a cute pattern. I did mess up. Does that have it? Looks like it almost has holes in it, but it doesn't. I did mess up on this one. I forgot a bubble stitch. And I didn't realize until I sewed him up. And I was like, you know what? He's just going to have to be different than everybody else. But this is going to be a very fun market friendly item. If you use smaller, like, I think that it would end up being closer to this size if you use Parfait Chunky. But I just like how, like, he's such a toad. He's Reggie the Frog, but he reminds me of a toad. I'm gonna put him back here. We're gonna run out of space. I'm just gonna let you know. We're gonna run out of space for all of the frogs that I've made for you today, because I have 17. And that one also is an Etsy pattern as well. And I wish I would have gotten the price for all of them in my next roundup video, I'll make sure that I put like how much they are. I'm fairly I'm fairly confident that most of these are $6 and under, but don't hold me to that. Don't hold me to that. And so this next one that I'm going to show you, I have done it before. And so what I did is I went through, so I purchased those two specifically for this video. And then the rest of these patterns that I'm going to show you, either I already had or I found them on Instagram. And so, or I've made them before. And so now I'm going through all of the Etsy patterns that I've already purchased in the past. And this is Bogart the Bullfrog. And I absolutely love this pattern. I love the shape of his body because he just makes me think, being from the South, it makes me think of going like frog gigging. I know that sounds terrible, but just having the bullfrog in your hand, like look how cute he is. It's the legs. It's his legs. They're just in his feet. Oh, it's so cute. So this is Bogart the Bullfrog, and he is from Mama's Going Knots, and I used a 6 millimeter hook, and I have Bernat and this green and this really pretty variegated yarn. I'd like to make something in this color. I don't know why I didn't for all of these. I just wanted to get a good variety of different colors as well. I didn't want it to just be like one singular color. And so this is Bogart. I'm gonna make some more of him because it doesn't take too terribly long to make these. It is a no sew. You No, it's a low sew because you crochet the arms in and then you sew the legs on at the end. Very quick and easy, fun pattern here. And let's see where we're gonna put Bogart at. I think we need to put him. Can't really see him. We'll just put him down here. We'll find a place for him. So my goal was to do at least 2 of each of these if they were small enough, but that was getting to be a bit much. And you'll see I have a couple of bigger items that came out a lot bigger than I was expecting for some reason. And so I didn't get a chance to make 2 of them, but I did make 2 of these Bogart. And this is another Bogart. And you can see the size difference here. I'll show you the size difference. This was actually made in Defiant Yarn. It's the emo brand that you guys saw a couple videos back. This is the first time I had a chance to use it, or I like allowed myself to use it. I've just been holding on to it because I just felt it too precious. This is lilac to me, and then what color is this? I wrote it down. Self-title in that really pretty pink there. And so I did use an 8 millimeter hook, and I think these are 20 millimeter eyes, and these are 14 millimeter. 14 millimeter is my most popular eye size that I use. But 8 millimeter hook, and it just turned out so cute. This yarn is so absolutely soft, and definitely, or you could use this with if you have any big twist plush left over, you could definitely use them together. I think this yarn's a little bit softer. Now, I did almost use the entire skein. I say not almost. I'd say I'd probably used, I think I've got it back here. Hang on, guys. So I would say probably a third of the skein, maybe, or 2/3. I'd say maybe half. Say half of the skein on this one plush, and that's fine, but just to kind of give you a reference. But this one's really fun to make, and these haven't been as popular at markets as I was expecting, but maybe it just wasn't the right markets. We're gonna stick you back here behind Tiddlink. Okay. Excuse me again. So the next one, and I've done this one before. So this is another kind of like pattern pack, I guess. It has 2 options in it. So this is Frankie the Frog Senior and Junior by Melly Inspired Crochet. And so the only one that I've done previously was the junior, and I haven't done the senior, and I don't know why, but he just turned out so cute. So this is the junior. Isn't he adorable? So cute. And so I used, again, a 6 millimeter hook, Bernat. This is Bernat and Beat, I think. And then this is that jungle dappled that I have. It's like an ombre dappled is what it is. And then I used 12. Did I use 12 or 14? I used 14 millimeter eyes on this one. And the this is a no-sew pattern as well. You work these into the round, and then you surface crochet this, and then you surface crochet this. So I've only done this in like smaller yarn, and so this one turned out a little bit bigger than I was expecting. And now that I'm looking at it in the video, I'm wondering if I did this a little wrong. You're supposed to do it with the belly color, but I think I probably should have done it with the body color. But that's okay. This is so cute. And then this is senior. He has 18 millimeter eyes, and I used the same yarn just because I wanted them to kind of match each other. I do like this color combo a lot better than this color combo. I thought I like this one better, but I think the darker as the main color is much better. And so this is senior and junior. They work up very similarly. They're both no sew, and this is a very fun pattern. I've made this one before, but I haven't made this one before. And here's the size difference, and they sit very very nicely on the edge. We're just going to have to stack them up over here. They're going to have to block each other. And that is an Etsy pattern as well. We're going to get through all of the paid patterns first before we start getting to the free ones. And so this one is the last paid pattern. I actually was a pattern tester for this one. This was my first or second pattern test ever. And I did it last year right before Valentine's Day. I want to say this was around the same time that I was a pattern tester for Atomic Crochet. And so this one is, again, it is an Etsy pattern. It's 3D Nerd Crafts, and hers is it's the round belly it's the round frog with the belly, heart belly, I can't talk. And I use the demi pearl, and then this is also the Defiant yarn. I used a 7 millimeter hook on this one. Last time I did this demi pearl, I used a 6.5, and I think that size was too small. But a lot of people like the demi pearl. I don't know. I don't know why. Like, I want to like it because it is very posh like. But I just don't like it as much as I thought I was going to. So I'm a little disappointed there. And I don't know if it's because I'm a big Bernat plush and I'm a big Bernat gal. I don't know. It just wasn't my favorite. Now, do I like it? I love the way the stitch definition looks. I just didn't like the way that it felt while I was crocheting it, if that makes sense. If you're starting to see the light change, I tried to get started a little bit sooner, but we have some severe weather coming through. So if you see the light changing, it's the clouds covering the sun. But anyways, so that's this one, and this was a fun pattern, and these sold pretty good last year. I had one that I hung on to for a while, and then somebody finally took it and they went home with them. Stick you back there behind Reggie. Just don't push them off. Okay. So that is all our paid patterns. Now we're going to get into some Instagram patterns, and then we're going to have a couple other things. So these next quite a few are Instagram patterns because there's so many frog patterns. There's no way that I would have been able to do all of them this week to show them to you, but I think I did find a good variety of different types for you today. So this is one that I've done in the past. This was one of my favorite go-to patterns back when I first started doing markets. And this is Francis the Chubby Frog by Tinkering Crochet. And I always sold him as a grumpy frog. I made him usually with the Big Twist plush because he's probably about this much bigger with the plush. But this is that gumdrop remember, I'm not sure if you guys remember from the last video, but I wanted to get rid of it. So I was like, I'm going to use it up. But it turned out really good using it. Not the way that I used it before, but using it in this wasn't terrible. It doesn't do the magic ring very good, and it does shed too, but it wasn't. I think the frog redeemed me just a tiny bit on that gumdrop. I was really angry at that yarn last week. So this is gumdrop, and I did use a 5.5 millimeter hook with 14 millimeter eyes. And now I did have to, because of my tension, I had to do a lot of adjusting with the arms and the legs to make them centered. And then I also had to do the same thing with the eyes a little bit, but I think it was just my tension. Now, she does have a strawberry mod as well, where you can turn him into a strawberry. But I did want to show. So this is one of the first ones that I made such a long time ago, while I was still like learning how to embroider eyes. Look at his eyes. And so this is Big Twist plush, or sorry, Big Twist Posh, with a probably a 4.5 millimeter hook. So you can see the size difference here. So just to go and show you, like I've had him for a while. You might have been able to see him hanging out up here with Jesus uh, in some previous videos, but so I have made him before. But I just wanted to show him how derpy he looks. But this is a very easy pattern, very fun to make, market friendly, and I think that it's really cute. Like it's one of my favorite patterns to make because I used it all the time last year, and it does have a belly patch you can do. So it's like a little circle that you sew on him. But I just think he looks great the way that he is. So we just left him just like that. All right, so we're 7 in. We're almost halfway through. Okay. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. So this next one, I've actually done this one as well. I think this one was on my what is it? My Dollar Tree yarn stash busting video from last year. But uh it's a really cute pattern, and it has a unique um sorry, I had to fix it for a second. A unique shape. That's one of the things that I was looking for as well whenever I was picking these, is the difference of shape in all of these two, because um you can get very redundant with frogs, and I have three, four, like four of the last ones that I have to show you look very similar as far as the way that they are, just because of the way the eyes are, and you'll see that here in just a second. But anyway, so this is the Ribbit Furry pattern. Isn't he cute? I just love his little arms. And this is Crochet by Elle, and I did use Parfait Chunky, and she's got 12 millimeter eyes, and I used a 4.5 millimeter hook. Now her, when you see the pattern, I think she used like a 3.5 millimeter hook with some really small yarn, and it's just like in her hands, like it's like palm sized, and so just using the Parfait Chunky, it comes out so much bigger. But I love this color, and I just think he turned out so adorable. And I had, like I said, I've made this one before in some mint color. And so that's that one. And he is also no-sew, I think. I can't remember if he's no-sew. I think he's supposed to be, I think he's supposed to sew his arms together, but that's what it was. That's what it was. That's what I'll show you. So you were supposed to crochet these separate and then you sew them on, but I didn't want to sew because I'm not always in the mood to do it. And so what I did is, you do a magic ring here with this little arm, you do a magic ring and then you chain, and I just did a slip stitch in and then I chained back, which is what you're supposed to do minus the slip stitch, and so I didn't have to sew it in. Now I did have to like weave the ends in his arms, but that was no big deal. Okay. This next one is very unique, but very cute. I haven't done any of her patterns before. I haven't purchased any of them. So this is Croutons Crochet. Hers are very whimsy. I don't usually do the whimsy ones, and so that's one of the reasons why I decided to do the fruit frog one. But I feel like I need to start doing a little bit more whimsy stuff, because that's what the difference is. of like the different types of whimsy that people are really drawn to. So I'm going to try to do better at that. But this one, it was a play on words because crouton crochets is, and this is a free Instagram pattern. I forgot to say that this is also a free Instagram pattern. And this is the Tomatoad. It's the tomato toad, but she did Tomatoad. And I used Chanel Brights. Sorry, the lighting just got really bad again. So I did Chanel Brights in this poppy and then emerald in that green. And this one took no time. I mean, you can see by the size. And then I actually added the stem because tomatoes, when if you know a tomato, it usually has the stem on it. And I think that if you were to do this and to not and to put some white on it, it would almost look like a strawberry too. But this was very cute. I used a 5mm hook and I used 20mm eyes. There's just some big eyes here. I'm gonna put you on top there. And I think I'm gonna pause for a second. I'm gonna get some better lighting. All right, so I think that's as best as it's gonna get. We have that storm rolling in. Let's see if you can see. Oh yeah, you can see the color much better now. Oh yes, that's the tomato toad. Tomatoed. Tomatoed. It's hard to say. All right, so the next one is by Crochet by Mara. And so the color choice for the frog was great. The handkerchief wasn't because I was picking a color because I forgot which frog it went to. And but it's okay. It doesn't look terrible. I might make another neckerchief is what they called it. So this is frog with the neckerchief. How cute! He turned out so adorable, and then like the neckerchief just does come off. And this is that same emerald in the Chanel Brights. I just think it's so cute. And this is a Hobby Lobby Yarn Bee velvet yarn. And this one took no time. This took no time at all. I mean, you can see by the size. And then, so I was never really much of a fan of these type of frog patterns with the eyes that look like that, but it's growing on me. I like the bobble stitches more, but sometimes you can't really get away with the bobble stitches. And this size is just really nice too. And this is an Instagram free pattern. Again, this is frog with neckerchief um, at with I need to learn how to talk. Crochet by Mara. Now, all of these patterns are going to be linked in the Google Doc below. I forgot to mention that earlier. Um, so all of the Instagram patterns, the Instagram links, Etsy links, and then the YouTube links as well. I don't think that I'll be able to link the Ribbler one that I have, but she does have an Instagram like post about it that I'll be able to link so you can at least like follow from there. So speaking of the Ribbler one, that's the next one that I have on my list, and this is Flipsy the Frog. It's Kawaii Cuddlebug, and I know I keep saying these are my favorite. Like I just had so much fun doing this roundup, this Ribbit roundup, because of all of the different types of I guess shapes that everybody has. Like people are so creative and absolutely love it. But this one is so much fun. So this was Flipsy the Frog. Look at his little legs. How cute is that? Um, and this was a low sew. That one was the other one. This one here, right there. It was a low sew. You had to sew the eyes to the head and then the arms, and then the rest of it was just. Does the neck have to be? And the head to the body. It wasn't low sew. It was just a normal sewing. But this is gumdrop. That gumdrop yarn. Every time I say that, it makes me think of not the gumdrop buttons. Sorry, but it's a 5.5mm hook, and once this yarn is worked up, it is so absolutely soft. But I just love his little floppy arms. And the Flipsy also like works for his name as well. And so let's see what size eyes did I use? 20mm eyes. And so what how you make this is you make the body, you make the eyes, you crochet the eyes. Oh, his eyes are a little wonky. And then you make all of these separate, and you're supposed to sew them in, but I just did a single crochet in. But no, I just think he just turned out so cute, and I just love his little arms, and he sits decent, but you got to kind of prop him up a little bit. Sorry, I'm always picking up the fuzzies. But he's absolutely cute. I think if you made him small enough, it would be a really good like car mirror hanger, because it's like how he kind of hangs. Sorry to the link. We're gonna stick him just, well, to the link got replaced because he fell. We're gonna stick him in the back there then. All right. So the next one is by Crochet and Mama's crochet page. She always seems to do what's what I'm looking for, collaborations. I love Crochet. She's got so many great free patterns. Like some, this is probably going to be one of my go-to patterns as well, but she's got two. It's Trunk, not Trunk. This is, yeah, maybe it's Trunk the turtle, the one that has the booty on it. And then her Sleepy Goose are two of my absolute favorite patterns to go to. They're always very popular, and they're just really good, like patterns, easily to work up. And so, speaking of the booty, this is Ted the Thick Frog, and this one worked up so fast. This is going to be a great market friendly item as well. I did want to, again, I wanted to try to do a variety of colors. This one reminds me of the like me frog. What is it? It's like a, I can't remember the frog. If I can find a picture of him, I'll stick it up over here. My kids love the way that it sounds whenever it gets mad. But this is Bernat in that patchwork. I think it's like coffee latte or something like that. But I want to make more of this one. I want to make a billion in this color or in this pattern, just because that the booty. I don't know why I did that, but just because of his booty, and it's just it's gonna be a good market prep item, and I love Crochet's patterns. I'm just gonna stick him on Frederick back there. That was Ted the Thick Frog. Oh, and I did use, if I tell you, the eyes, and I did use 14 millimeter eyes. Again, that's my favorite eye pattern, eye size. I tend to go back to that a lot. It usually from the size that I make most of my plushies with. That's one that just fits most of them. Okay, so this next one, all of those are fairly the same size. I wanted to find a smaller pattern, and so this one is the Pocket Frog by Amateur Hook, and this is it. How cute! This was a very, like, again, this was a very quick item to work up. It's no sew, and I used the Chanel Brights and Emerald with 12 millimeter eyes and a 6 millimeter hook, and these, just work these through the when you crochet in the round. Not my favorite. I think it's a good like $5, not even $5. I wouldn't even, I don't even know if I would charge $5 for this, but for keychain, or for those of you who like, it reminds me of like Poggy's Critterlings, the size of that. Something to put in like one of those claw machines. But no, I think it took maybe 15 minutes to work this one up. But I just wanted to find something that's smaller, and it's cute. Not my favorite. I think maybe things this size I'm not a fan of. Maybe I haven't found one that works for me yet. I'm still down in the back. Excuse me, my nose itched. So this next one, I'm saving. I've got one particular one that I'm saving to show you last. So story time, I guess. So I always feel like I'm finding new crochet creators on YouTube that I like to watch, because the more that I watch, the more variety of types of patterns that I see. And so This is Yarn Whimsy. I think I might have mentioned her before. She was talking about in one of her videos how you have your like relaxing comfort patterns, and then you've got like your Mount Everest pattern. So the last one I'm going to show you is a Mount Everest pattern, but it was totally worth it, and you're going to see why. But I would say the majority, I would say all of these are relaxing patterns. These, because I did so many of these, it got to the point to where it felt like this pattern in particular, it's a relaxing pattern, but I turned it into an Everest because I wanted to make all of them, and I was kind of over making them by the time I got to the last one. So I just wanted to shout Yarn Whimsy out just because it's such a good way to describe those patterns where you're like, I just want to be done and over with this, but the end result is most of the time worth it. Okay, but anyways, so that's the end of my story time. So this next one is a Instagram pattern. It's all the way over here, and I just recently saw this one. I want to say I saw this one because either there was a recent pattern test for the same creator, and I saw it and I just really wanted to make it because I thought it was cute. This is Tilly the Tutu Frog. Oh, the light's so bright. Now I do want to embroider some white around her eyes. I didn't get a chance to do that, and I think I might have added a row somewhere in here. Maybe, I don't know. But I love that she's sitting, and this is Who's Your Granny Creations. And I'd used the 6mm hook, Chanel Brights, and I used kiwi and mulberry in the colors. And then I embroidered her eyes because I forgot to put them in, so I just embroidered them. And this is like this again. This is just one of those relaxing ones. Um, you you crochet everything in the round except the feet, and then you sew the feet on. Adorable. How cute. This is such, and this is different because I don't have any of the ones that sit like that with his little feetsies like that. Put you all the way there. Okay. So this next one is a YouTube tutorial and a blog. I haven't made this one in particular, but the base pattern of this I've made several times. This is my favorite lovey pattern to make, like blanket lovey pattern. And so my mom actually requested this. She's got somebody she works with that just had a baby, and I've actually made one of these for her other child, and so this next one is for her new baby. So anyways, and because I remembered that she had a frog pattern, so I wanted to make it. So this is Mama J Crochet, and she has a YouTube tutorial, and she does offer this as a blog as well, but I just like the YouTube tutorial because then I could just um like advance through it pretty quickly. And also her blogs, this blog in particular, there's lots of ads, so sometimes it can be a little cumbersome to try to figure out where the pattern is. So but no, but she is a YouTube channel. I'll link the YouTube channel below. This is her crochet frog lovey. I gotta get all the way back here. Beautiful. How absolutely beautiful. I just love it so much. So this is her 6-point star lovey blanket. She's got an octagon and an 8-point star lovey one. And I think she might have a different one, but and she's got several different animals to do. I've done the rabbit. Honestly, I can't tell you all the ones I've done because I don't remember. I think I've done the elephant. I think I've done the raccoon. But I used 8mm hook on the thunderstorms that I told you are rolling in, and it's starting to look a little rough here in a second. I'm gonna have to wrap this up pretty quickly so I can check the weather. But I used an 8mm hook on the blanket part, and then I went to a 6.5mm hook because I didn't want to size down too much. But I think that's the size turned out really good. And I used the Perfect Phasing Bernat in Aquatic, and I think that turned out really good. Now the arms were a little tricky. I pretty much had to it didn't phase as well as this did, right? So it's not the perfect phasing, but I did want to have that same effect. So I had to like judge the colors as best as I could to at least have that same effect. But no, I just love this so much. These are some of my favorite loveys to make for people that have recently had babies, because they're baby safe, and they're just so easy to snuggle up and love on. So I'm actually gonna stick this guy back here because he's not gonna sit up. Okay, so this last one that I have for you is my Everest. It's my Everest, and this is. I saw it. And I saw this pattern, and I was like, "Oh, that is such a cute pattern. I have to do it because it looks different than the rest of these." But for whatever reason, I decided to use my Big Twist plush yarn and an 8mm hook. So it turned out very large. So this is Frodrick by Raja Crochet. Um, and this is him. Now, he does sit just like this, and his arms hold him up. So he sits just like this. And he's a little party frog. How cute. And I used 30mm eyes on him. And this is all of my leftover, almost all of my leftover, like sage color for Big Twist plush. And then I have this teal and this coral in that plush color left over. And I feel like he deserved some gold eyes. He's colossal. He's huge, but he turned out so cute. Um, and this is the party frog. Now she does have some Etsy patterns that have more mods, and she shows them to you. Like you can. So I think this is kind of a teaser. It's like, hey, you like this pattern? You should uh, go to my Etsy and buy some more, which is fun because I can't say that I will go out of my way to make this one again. Just because it was a big project, but it wasn't too difficult. Sorry, my nose just started itching. So pretty much, let me explain this guy to you. So his body and head are crocheted in one, and she does a really good job at creating that like leaned effect there. So you don't have to do really anything. You as far as like shaping, she does that in the pattern, and she has you like put stitch markers to make sure it's like down the middle. What caused me the most problem, and I think that she might have it in her Etsy pattern, but on the free pattern on Instagram, she didn't have it, were the toes. You can he's got some toe jam there. You can see the difference. This was the first one I did. This was the second one I did. This is what it's supposed to look like. You work all of the toes separate, and then you crochet them together. It took me so longer than I'm proud to say to be able to figure that out. But once I did, I got it, because you do the same thing with the hands, and you work the feet and the legs, and then you do the thigh, and you sew it together, and then you sew it onto the body, and then you do this separate, do the arm separate, and then you sew it to the body, and then you do the eyes, sew that, and then you sew all this stuff on. But I tied the bow on it. So this is Frodrick. Isn't he amazing? I think he was totally worth it. I just think he's just perfect. I'm so proud of him. He's going to be one of those that like really brings in some crowd. So my bigger items that I had, I had them at the farm store, and so he's probably. I'm so sorry, I hit my thing. So he's probably going to take the place of that. So that's all the 16 patterns that I have for you today, and I just realized how much time it's been. Wow, this has been a really long video, but I've just been so excited to tell you guys about all of these patterns. Now, I do have 2 honorable mentions, just because one of them I just didn't want to make, but it is a very popular pattern. I'm not sure if, sorry, but anyways, but it's a leggy frog pattern that I don't even have any pictures of it, but it was one of the first patterns that I purchased. But she does have a YouTube tutorial, and that's Celestial Bee Crochet, and she shows you how to make her leggy frog. And then the other one is Mom Made Minis. And so one of my first ones that I made from this book was the frog. Let's see if I can find it in here. Because evidently I like frogs. Let's see, you can see it right up here. But those are just a couple of the honorable mentions because I know that there's so many frog patterns, and those are two that I made that I wasn't going to make for this video, but I just want to mention them because I know they can be very popular. So that's my Ribbit Roundup. Thank you so much for being here. If you guys have any other ideas for any type of other like animal or pattern roundups that you'd like to see, comment below and let me know, and I can start working on them because we all need a little bit of inspiration. For those of you who are caught in this storm or have experienced a storm, I hope you guys are safe, and please pray for the people of Michigan that got hit by that tornado. I know that they can be pretty destructive. If you go to Ryan Hall y'all's channel, he has a GoFundMe. He usually does lots of fundraising for people that have been hit by storms. You can donate there. I might try to figure out how to link it below. But anyways, so you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for being here. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe, and God bless. See ya.